Early one evening, James backed into the sheds. He had exciting news. A rail tour will be coming to the island tomorrow, he told the other engines. A group of people want to spend a few days here to explore all our railways. Their train will be pulled by a privately owned engine. Oh, any idea who the engine is? Asked Duck. Not sure. Apparently it's a Great Eastern engine. I'm sure whoever it is will love to meet us. I wouldn't hold your hopes too high, my dear engines, huffed Gordon. And why not? Asked Edward. Gordon gave a concerned look. Private engines tend to be very full of themselves. They see every other engine beneath them, especially those in museums or heritage railways. The engines were surprised to hear Gordon say such things. Then Duck chuckled. Well, that's quite rich coming from you, he said. It almost sounds like you're describing yourself. Huh, grunted Gordon. You're thinking about a much younger, more foolish me. But I've proven to be more mature over the years, have I not? Of course you have, Gordon, smiled Edward. But there's no need to be so judgmental. Wait until tomorrow, and then you can draw a conclusion. Gordon sighed. He knew that Edward was right. He said no more, but thought a great deal about what type of engine he would see tomorrow. The next morning, Gordon hurried through the countryside with the express. The run made him feel better, but he was still thinking about the private engine. He also couldn't help but notice a slight pain somewhere on his boiler. Never mind, he thought, I just need a good run. That will take my mind off it. The express crosses the rolling bridge at the other end of the line and terminates at the big station just beyond Solo. It is here where the Fat Controller's railway collides with the other railway, now entirely run by diesels. I suppose it will be nice to see another steam engine around here for once, thought Gordon. He left his coaches and backed onto his siding to rest. He then told his crew about the pain he had felt earlier, and they inspected him. Something inside you might need repairs, said the fireman. We'll see how you feel later on, but it might be worth visiting the works. Just then, they heard an unfamiliar whistle. Looks like the rail tour is here, Gordon, called his driver. Gordon watched with interest as a large tender engine pulled into the station. She was painted in bright yellow with red stripes. She looked very smart. Even Gordon was impressed. Just then, some passengers walked next to the engine to take some photos. The engine smiled, but also looked a little unsettled. Sometime later, the station master walked up to Gordon's cab. Excuse me, he said, but there's a slight problem. The water tower here is out of order, and the rail tour's engine doesn't have enough to carry on. Could you pull her to the next station? She can fill up there. Why, certainly, replied the driver. Can't have the rail tour be delayed. Gordon was coupled up to the engine, but she didn't say anything. Not even a thank you. Gordon found this a little insulting, but said nothing as the guard blew the whistle and he steamed out of the station. As he began to pick up speed, he heard a quiet voice from behind. I'm sorry for all this. I hope I'm not causing too much trouble. Gordon was taken aback. Not at all. I usually go back around this time anyway. There was an awkward silence until Gordon spoke again. I'm Gordon, by the way. What is your name? Oh, it's Molly, replied the engine quickly. Sorry, I should have said that earlier. Well, there's no need to apologize, Gordon said assuringly. Is something the matter? It's my first ever rail tour, Molly answered slowly. I didn't think it would be this overwhelming. Your first rail tour? Oh, yes. Before this, I was on display at a heritage railway, but I was recently repaired, and this is actually my first run in years. I see, Gordon said thoughtfully. Soon they arrived at the next station, and Molly refilled her tender with water. Thank you, she said to Gordon. Glad to be of service, replied Gordon. I must be off now, but I'll see you later. Goodbye. Goodbye, Gordon, called Molly quietly. Gordon was deep in his thoughts. He was still concerned about the private engine, as he was from the beginning. But now, it was for reasons he never expected. He puffed back to the big station with a lot to think about.